With us here today is also Dr. A.J. Kothari. He's the president of American Society of Engineers of Indian Origin, National Capital Chapter. As I said earlier, this company is a joint effort by Asian Americans across all the ethnicities. It's a joint fight. Let's welcome Dr. A.J. Kothari to give us a speech.
Thank you very much, and thank you all for coming and listening to us, our heart and mind here. I'm not a lawyer. I'm an engineer, physicist, and so I'm going to leave the legalese to the other people here on the table and other places, but I'm going to speak from my heart, and I'm going to give some philosophical arguments about what seems to be happening. I think this problem that we have is sort of like tip of the iceberg, actually. I think that to a large extent, whatever is happening in the Ivy League universities and what they are doing is really I'm sorry, I'm going to connect the dots, and they might be a little strong, but please bear with me. What is happening is just really a reflection of sometimes what the American society at large thinks of and treats Asian Americans in general. And I would like to change that. I really don't think it is fair. We look different. We are visibly identifiable different minorities. When we walk in a mall or shopping mall or go for anything else or something, we can be identified. And so there is a certain type of a subtle thing that exists, which does not exist for some other things, and that then translates into many other issues and problems of this time. So I've been here in this country for 40 years, and I've been a U.S. citizen for 30 years. But because of these things, I still sometimes feel like a foreigner. I'm being treated like a foreigner. I'm not a foreigner. I'm an American, and there are many people like me who have, some of them have been here for generations. And so please start treating us not as, some adjunct part of this country or something like that. We are Americans, and please treat us like Americans. I really would. I'm going to give, a couple of examples of what I'm talking about, I guess. And two of them are kind of different types, and one is very much related to this particular case. All right, so we have, if you all remember that for many, many years, these national spelling bees do occur, and the Asian Americans have been like the top in last, 12, 13, 14 years of last 17 years or something like that, and, top 3 for many years or something like that. But when media or Hollywood made a movie about the spelling bee called Akela the Bee, it was not about Asian Americans. It was about somebody else. Why? We don't exist. Like we can spell, but we don't count. Is that right? Really? That's terrible. That's terrible. That should not be happening. And the same thing with other things about other issues. And I'll give one other specific example, which Zhu Kong mentioned earlier already. 700 people graduated from the Western High in Florida, Davie, Florida. The top 4 of them were Asian Americans. Top 4. None of them could get into the Ivy League. But the 5 after that, all of them got into Ivy League. Come on. How blatant do you have to be? Please. we are not asking for anything great, just be asking for fairness, just fairness, okay? Uh, I will, the reason why all these things is mentioned is because sometimes I feel like these kinds of things, are they merely reflection of what the media does to emulate what they perceive to be the prevalent in society at large, or more painfully, was it actually an interpolation from a more generalized situation? So this is what my problem is. I came here, many years ago, of course, with $6 in my pocket. Really, $6. At that time, it was a lot of money, but I did my studied hard, did my master's PhD in aerospace engineering, became a rocket scientist, and I designed rockets and hypersonic planes and stuff like that for Air Force and for DARPA and for NASA and like that. But I still feel like sometimes, not by them, but by rest of the American society, still a foreign person, Hey, for God's sake, I'm helping the country so much and things like that. So that whole thing needs to go away, and there is a connection, there are dots that are being connected here. That kind of a thing should not happen. 140, 150 points higher that the students have to have, like him, than white, and 270 points higher than Hispanics, and 450 points higher than African Americans, to just be considered equal? I mean, come on. This is really, it's painful. It's really painful for these guys. I mean, they have to compete with each other, and will they not end up stabbing each other in the back in that set? It's so hard between the Asian Americans. So I will just say that these, to me, are very, very compelling reasons, and I hope and pray that just, okay, so you want to do things by merit and all that, that's fine, that's that, not by merit, but by race. If you want to do it that way, then admit me in a basketball team also. I know that Asian Americans are all good, but Indian Americans, I can speak for them, they are not good in sports. I know that. But please give me some racial preference in that case. No, they don't want to do that. They just want to do this, academic thing. So I'm saying that if you want to do something, do it equally, or don't do it at all. But don't be selective. That is just not fair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. A.J. Athari, for your very poignant speech, for sharing with us your personal experiences and feelings. I can identify with that. And I know many Asian Americans out there who had high hopes for equality and justice can identify with that.